A siren dies mid-wail as something tears through the corridor ceiling. The lights flicker once, then vanish, leaving only scraping movement closing in from every direction. Boots slip on a dark smear as armed figures retreat blindly, firing into shadows that don't stop advancing. The sound changes, clicking, layered, surrounding them from inside the walls. A final blast echoes, then silence swallows the corridor. Something heavy drags across the floor, slow and deliberate, as if claiming what's left. Wind howls across a massive crater carved into empty desert, its edges still scorched. At the center, a hole breathes faint heat like something below is still alive. A truck engine idles nearby as the second man gestures toward a narrow opening at the crater's base. He drops a cable without hesitation and starts descending. The first man hesitates only a second before following. The wind above cuts off as they disappear below ground, swallowed by silence. Their boots hit concrete inside a long tunnel lined with rusted pipes. The air smells stale, but something faintly metallic lingers deeper in. A distant clang echoes ahead, not caused by them. Both stop instantly, listening as the sound repeats, closer this time. They reach a reinforced door hanging open, revealing a massive interior facility abandoned mid-operation. Lights flicker weakly like something is still drawing power. Metal trays are scattered across the floor, coated in dried residue that crunches underfoot. The first man kneels, touching it, unsure what it used to be. A low vibration hums through the walls, steady and unnatural. It wasn't there seconds ago. Something shifts behind a sealed panel, pressing outward just enough to bend the metal. Then it stops, as if listening back. They back away slowly, but a sharp crack splits the silence as the panel fractures from the inside. Dust falls in a steady stream. Without warning, something punches through the metal, too fast to see clearly. The second man turns to run, already too late. The first man bolts down the corridor, the sound of rapid impacts chasing him. The vibration returns, stronger, synchronized, alive. He reaches a junction and hesitates, choosing a direction blindly. The wrong choice reveals itself instantly. The gate slams shut just as something strikes it from the other side, denting the metal inward. The impact doesn't stop, it starts again. The pounding stops as suddenly as it began. Silence stretches too long, forcing him to step closer to the dented gate. A thin crack splits the gate from top to bottom, not from force, but from something pushing through slowly. He backs away, realizing it isn't trying to break in fast. He turns and runs deeper into the facility, abandoning any sense of direction. The corridor slopes downward, pulling him further underground. A distant light flickers ahead, unlike the failing ones behind him. It pulses steadily, almost like a signal. He enters a control room where screens suddenly power on by themselves. Static clears, revealing recorded footage already playing. The older man appears on screen, calm despite the chaos behind him. He speaks like someone who already knows the outcome. He describes something that arrived long before the facility existed. Not discovered, contained. The recording cuts to images of early experiments, showing rapid growth, unnatural adaptation, and aggressive expansion patterns. He explains that the creatures don't just spread, they organize. Every movement serves a larger structure forming underground. A loud metallic scrape interrupts the recording from somewhere outside the room. The walls tremble slightly in response. The screen continues playing, now warning that once they surface, they will seek energy sources to multiply rapidly. He lists one specific trigger: volatile fuel compounds. The recording glitches before explaining why. The power cuts out mid-sentence, leaving the room in darkness. Only the faint hum returns, closer than before. A sudden beam of light cuts through the room from the doorway. The second man steps in, somehow alive. Before any explanation, he grabs the first man and pulls him away from the room. The urgency leaves no time for questions. Behind them, the control room collapses inward as something forces its way through. Dust fills the corridor instantly. They emerge back into the open desert, coughing and disoriented. The crater feels larger now, like it's been expanding. Their truck sits where they left it, but the ground beneath it has shifted, forming shallow cracks that pulse outward. A distant engine approaches from the canyon edge. A third figure arrives fast, skidding to a stop near them. She doesn't ask what happened. She looks at the crater once and immediately understands something is wrong. A deep tremor shakes the ground beneath all three of them. This time, it doesn't fade. Cracks widen across the desert surface, forming branching lines that stretch toward the canyon. Something is spreading underground. They rush toward the truck, but the engine fails to start. The battery is dead, drained without explanation. A sharp clicking sound rises from beneath the vehicle. It isn't mechanical, it's coordinated. The ground beneath the truck caves inward suddenly, dragging the vehicle halfway down. Something pulls it from below. They run toward the canyon edge as the collapse spreads behind them. The desert is no longer stable ground. From the cracks, large shapes begin to rise, not fully visible, but moving with unnatural speed beneath the surface. They split instinctively, trying to confuse whatever is tracking them. The ground reacts to each movement like it's following. The woman stops abruptly, realizing running isn't helping. The movement beneath the ground adjusts instantly to her pause. She signals the others to freeze. For a moment, everything stops. No sound, no movement, no vibration. Then something erupts exactly where the second man had been seconds earlier. It's not guessing, it's predicting. They realize the creatures are sensing patterns, not just motion. Every decision they make is being learned. A narrow hatchway near the canyon wall becomes their only option. It leads back underground, back toward the source. They hesitate, knowing what's below. The ground behind them shifts again, removing the choice entirely. They descend quickly, sealing the hatch behind them. The sounds above continue for several seconds, then stop. The tunnel below is different, newer, reinforced, and untouched by decay. This part of the facility was never abandoned. Lights activate automatically as they move, tracking them section by section. Something here is still operational. A sealed door slides open without being touched. Inside, rows of equipment sit ready, powered and waiting. Weapons, suits, and tools line the walls as if prepared for this exact moment. None of them understand who left it here. A low-frequency hum begins again, stronger than before. This time, it's coming from directly beneath their feet. The floor trembles in a steady rhythm, no longer random. It feels structured, like something massive is aligning beneath them. The woman moves first, grabbing a compact device from the wall without hesitation. She studies it briefly, then powers it on. A faint pulse emits from the device, and the vibration beneath them shifts instantly in response. It's reacting to the signal. The tall man grabs a protective suit, forcing it on quickly. He doesn't wait for confirmation, only for movement. The lean man hesitates before taking a weapon from the rack. It feels heavier than expected, unfamiliar but necessary. A loud crack splits the floor as a section collapses inward, revealing a dark shaft below. Heat rises from it in waves. They peer into the opening and see movement far below, organized, layered, endless. It isn't just a few creatures. The device in the woman's hand pulses faster, drawing the movement below toward the opening. It's not just reacting, it's attracting. The lean man realizes the implication too late. The equipment wasn't left for defense, it was designed to control them. Something launches upward from the shaft, barely missing them as it slams into the ceiling. The structure groans under the impact. They scatter as more impacts follow, each one closer than the last. The chamber is no longer stable. The tall man fires into the shaft blindly, the recoil forcing him back. The sound echoes far deeper than expected.